I drove to the house, and now that's what we got going on. Telling you, always something.
Like, share, and subscribe.
Hey guys, welcome to another video here at Trucking Life. So, if you guys saw my previous video, if you guys haven't checked that out, check this one out. And you guys saw that when I got home, I had a check engine light. Now, I wanted to make this video because whenever you're trying to diagnose a problem, it's very important that you use the proper equipment to diagnose what's going on with the check engine light, because whenever you do internet research, sometimes it's really, not that great. So I got these codes right here that you see here and here. It was ECU 128, SID 382, fail 1, right? So before, when I parked at the house, I went ahead and just go ahead and searched it online or whatever, just to see what would come up, right? And I was able to find very limited information, but I did find this from a forum. So it says, this is an ECM issue. The info I have located on this code here, 128S382, is for the RTC backup battery voltage in the ECM engine control module is low. This is an internal battery fault in the ECM itself. The ECM will need to be removed and sent for repair to an authorized repair center to have the internal battery replaced, or the ECM itself replaced to correct this here. I have also found out some will continue to operate the vehicle with this fault and it won't cause any running or driving issues. So basically what had initially happened was I was rolling down the road. The truck was doing a regen and it was smoking like crazy, like white smoke, which usually indicates two things. It could be coolant or it could be underburned fuel. Sometimes it'll burn black or whatever, So when I got home and I researched it, and I saw that this forum, I saw various forums that pointed to this same exact thing. I immediately got stressed out, right? Because I figured, holy crap, man, it's going to be the ECM. And that ECM is not that old. It's only been like maybe 5 years or so. But actually, once I connected the ECM like to the computer, it gave me a whole different thing. And you guys will see shortly what it found. But I just wanted to say this beforehand before I show you guys what I found on the computer, because you guys got to be careful about what you believe off of Google or whatnot. I'm pretty lucky that I have the Detroit software, and it pointed to something completely 100% different. However, even though the computer was giving me something different and I was able to correct the issue, I'll show you guys right now. Due to the fact that I've been doing this for 18 years, and like I said, 11 of those years, we're in 2025, has been as an owner-operator, I've been able to network a good group of people, different mechanics. And, I have this one particular guy that I use that he's like a super genius when it comes to Detroit, man. Like I'm pretty good with Detroit, but there's some of them that whenever I just can't figure it out or whatever, I call my guy up and he's really, really good. So I called him up and I gave him this code and he verified that it was not an ECM issue. It was pretty much what the computer was showing. So without further ado, let me show you guys what I found on the computer. This is the reason why you want to have the proper tools to be able to diagnose. Because if you guys saw in that previous example, it was showing me that it was the MCM, but here it's showing me these codes here. Now that one is an old code, 11 of 21. Normally that's the one that comes on when it doesn't want to do a regen, because and that'll be uh, fuel filters. And these are all old too. That one was, or actually, regen out of temp low. So that one's today, zone 2. That one's 11 of 21. And DPF outlet temperature is high. That one was 1216. So we're going to focus on this regen temp out of low. It's going to give me the troubleshooting procedure right here. And that's going to pretty much check the resistances of my sensors or whatever. Now, I did replace those a little bit ago. So what I'm thinking it's going to be, it's more than likely going to be that 7th injector that's clogged up. So that's more than likely what it's going to be. That's why it's important to have the proper tools, because according to what the SPN and all that shit said on the truck, sometimes you get different answers or whatever. And as soon as it turned on, I was like, it's either that shit's dirty or dirty fuel filters. So since it's giving me that it's regen out of low, it started smoking like crazy, like white smoke. And then when the check engine light came on, that's when it cut the regen off, and then it stopped smoking. So it was more than likely that 7th injector is dirty. So instead of atomizing the fuel, it's just like dripping it. So it's not being able to do it correctly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and clean that bad boy up and do a regen. I'm going to do a manual regen and make sure that we're good to go. But I think that that's more than likely our issue. It's going to be that injector, it just gets dirty over time. I can't remember when was the last time I cleaned it. It hasn't been too long, maybe 3-4 months, but it was like cold weather, and today it started kind of, it needs the PM service. And usually I do it like on the PM service, but I think I haven't done it. Maybe I probably skipped it maybe 2 or 3 times. So we're going to go ahead and try that first and monitor our temperatures here. And then we'll see what's up. But according to that other one, it was saying that it was the MCM, and obviously it's connecting and we don't have nothing of MCM codes on here. So that's why it's kind of tricky whenever you use Google to search what the code might be or whatever. And that's the reason why I never leave home without this computer, because of the same reason. If I get a code or whatever, then that's what it is. But we're going to go ahead and check that. If you guys want to see how to clean that, I'm not going to show you guys how to do it. Check this video out. It's the very first one on my playlist. That was my very first video. If you guys are interested in knowing how to clean it, you guys can see it there. Okay, so here I'm doing the regen, and you can see right here it's dozing. When it was dozing before, when I was on my way over here, it was smoking like crazy white, and that 7th injector, I mean, it was kind of dirty, I would probably say like normal, but with those things, like if it's clogged like on one side, it's such a little nozzle that if it doesn't atomize it correctly, it just sprays it. I'm gonna go ahead and monitor the temperatures here and make sure it completes the regen, but it's not smoking like crazy anymore. And I'm thinking what was happening is like what I'm saying, that it was drizzling in there and hitting the DOC, and it wasn't burning it correctly, and that's why it was smoking like crazy. And now that it's atomizing it, it's not smoking no more. So I'm hoping that that's what it is. I'm pretty sure that that's what it was. But I'll let you guys know in a minute. Guys, it seems to be like if it completed, you guys can see right there, it's at 0. Okay. One way to verify that you guys can check is if you go to your instrumentation tab over here and you go to your EGR, it'll say DPF zone 0. That means that we completed it successfully. So that was definitely the problem. It was either the 7th injector being dirty or the fuel filters. And I had checked my fuel filters when I got here, because I document everything, even when I just change filters or whatever. And they only had like 7,000 miles on it or whatever. So I was like almost for sure like that's probably what it is. And the reason it was smoking is because, like what I'm saying, I know I'm repeating myself again, guys, but that's the way you guys troubleshoot crap, It was definitely, instead of atomizing it, it was just spraying it in there, like dripping, kind of like a stream, instead of it being atomized. And that's why it was smoking like crazy. Initially, when I saw that, guys, man, I was like, fuck, I thought I blew my engine, or I thought I had like a major problem. The first thing that came to mind in me, just out of the blue while I was rolling, I was like coolant, because coolant also will burn white smoke. But then I got to thinking about it as I was rolling. This happened like within a matter of seconds in my mind. You know what I mean? I was like, no, I was trying to regen, so it's more than likely fuel. But I wanted to go ahead and run the regen with the computer and make sure that the temperatures were where they're supposed to be at, and make sure that it completed it in case if it was something else, it's going to show its ugly face when you're doing a regen. That's usually the way I verify everything. So, golly, man, when I saw that, when I saw the message say that it might possibly be the ECM, I was like, holy crap, man. But that just goes to show you sometimes Google won't show you the right information. There's different. I'm going to look up at another database that I use at the shop to try to see if we can confirm that code. Because if you notice when I showed you guys the, whatchamacallit, the codes on the computer, it won't show it as SPN or, the way it shows it on the dash. It'll just show a different, it'll show a different code like you guys saw. But I'm going to go ahead and get all my crap together here and go pick up my truck because the day's not over, guys. I'm telling you, you guys want to be an owner operator, the day never ends. I just barely got home right now. I got to go get oil. I got to get fuel filters, oil filters, and I got to buy a pipe. I'll show you guys on the pipe that I'm talking about, but let me get going because it's getting late and we'll see you guys soon. Oh, man. So we got the batteries. Got the new battery right here. I got all my stuff to change the oil. I got them all out already. So, man, it is freezing out here. Holy smokes. I'm not really looking forward to do this oil change, but that's the real life of want to be an owner operator, man. I'm going to have to work a little bit more. My supposed day off, and I'm having to deal with this stuff right here. So, but let me get to it. And I'm not going to film it. I have other videos where you guys have seen me change the oil or whatever. So you guys can check those out or whatever. But we're going to get these done and hopefully get it back online. Holy smokes, guys. It is cold. Got boogers in here and all over the place. Golly. Give me some coffee. Every now and then I'll get me some Starbucks. But it's expensive coffee. I was just kind of on the run. But there we are. We're emptying her out. Just letting it empty out right there. Went ahead and got the batteries installed. So now this one's new and this one's new. And I mean, they were all fairly new. They weren't even a year old, but I don't know what the hell happened. But just checking her out. This is the hose, or not the hose, the pipe that I'm going to replace here not too long, as you guys can tell. I mean, yeah, I can hit it with some spray paint or whatever, but I think it's already kind of crappy. So I went ahead and bought that new pipe, but we're not going to do that today. It's too damn cold. But this is the pipe I'm going to replace because these clamps, I already have them on super tight, and sometimes it seeps here and it seeps down there. Right there. So I already have them tight right there, but I think I don't want to tighten them anymore because I've had those pipes sometimes break on me. Here's our oil filters and stuff. Now I've gone through this before, guys. The reason why I do my oil changes is not because I love doing it. Sorry about the wind. I'm trying to get out of the wind. It's not because I love doing it. It's because it saves me money. I roughly save like around maybe like $250, which most of you might be thinking, man, for $250, screw it. I'd rather do it than be doing it in the cold, right? But by not only do I just save money, but I also get to put good oil in it. I put fully synthetic oil on it. I use Rotella T6 1540, or sometimes I'll get the 540, but I couldn't find it. But it allows me to save money, and at the same time, it allows me to put better oil in it, because roughly an oil change right now, with your fuel filters, just your basics, your fuel filters, your oil, and maybe greasing the truck. It's running right now, maybe $500-$600 depending on where you go. But that's just with regular oil. It might be T4 or whatever, but it's not full synthetic. If I use this oil, and I go somewhere for them to change it, and I want this specific oil, I'm telling you, because I've asked before, and this is maybe about a year or so ago, it's almost $800 and something, because I usually get that one at Sam's. It's roughly like about $74 every 3 gallons. So it comes out to maybe like 21 and change every gallon. they sell it to you for almost $35 a gallon. So it's like a significant difference. But that's the reason why I do my oil changes, is because it allows me to put full synthetic oil on it. That's what I've ran on it since I rebuilt it. Well, even before I rebuilt it, but these particular liners and pistons and everything have only seen that oil. I really like that oil a lot. And that's why I do it, guys. So I'm going to get to it here, and we'll get back with you. So guys, you guys can see right here that the issue was that it was the 7th injector on the truck. It was giving me that regen temp low code, which pretty much indicates that the DOC is not coming up to temp. So what my theory behind it is, because I was running, like, it's not like if I just started running, I had been running throughout the day coming back from Albuquerque. What I'm thinking must have happened was that 7th injector has that little ding dong that comes out or whatever. And instead of atomizing the fuel, it was just like spraying, it was just like dribbling it in there. Like it was like droplets. So it wasn't burning the fuel correctly. Any of you all that know about diesel knows that diesel, it becomes super combustible under pressure, which in this case, there's no pressure. It's just going to go into, your DOC, diesel oxidation catalyst, which is hot. But if the diesel is not atomized correctly, like that vapor mist, it's not going to create that heat if it's just going in there as droplets. So what my theory behind this is a year ago, I replaced that DOC. If you guys don't remember that video, check this one out here. I replaced it with a new DOC because I was having this same code come up. And this particular time, I just went ahead and cleaned the injector up. I ran a parked regen and everything was good to go. But I'm thinking that DOC is partially blocked again. And the reason for that is because I replaced that DOC with the new one about 4, 5, 6 months prior to replacing my injectors. I didn't know that my injectors were bad at that point, which were causing overfueling, and that's what messed up the other DOC. But this particular time, now we have new injectors in there, and it's burning correctly. So what I'm going to do probably the next video come around is I'm going to go ahead and remove that DOC and DPF. It's around that time anyway. I've said it before in my videos, guys. I usually clean it once a year. But I'm going to go ahead and get that DOC cleaned again because I'm suspecting that it might be a little clogged again due to the fact that it ran 6 months with those other injectors that were overfueling. So it must have clogged it a little bit. But I think we'll be fine for the time being. But I just wanted to make this little video just because sometimes whenever you do online research, it can throw you off. If I would have just trusted this 100%, I would have bought a new computer when I didn't need to buy it, and it's happened to me many times before that whenever you look at those dash codes and you Google them, sometimes you get different answers or whatever, So the best thing would be either if you have the software like myself, where you can connect to it and pretty much trust the software. And if you can't, then you're going to have to take it to a shop that does have the software, because sometimes whenever you do research or whatever, it's something totally unrelated. And like, even though I had my computer there that was telling me what was the issue, I had that doubt in my mind. So that's when I called my guy up and he verified that code 128 SIS 382 fail 1 is actually due to that low temp on the DOC. It has nothing to do with the ECM or whatever. So just be careful when you're doing research and stuff like that with any check engine lights. And then, I'm talking about the code that comes up on your dash, not on the, the one that comes up on the computer. You guys will see it's a totally different code. But anyhow, guys, that's what I got for you guys here today. We were able to get the truck fixed and we were able to get it to complete a regen. And I'm going to go ahead and put a mental note that we need to clean the DOC and DPF. But that's what I got here for you guys today. So if you like the video, give me a thumbs up, share the content, comment down below, subscribe, and we'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace out.